Alright, what's up, y'all? It's Matt here. How you guys doing today? What's up? I am back yet again with a Kingdom Hearts video for you guys. Finally. A lot of you guys are probably relieved to see that. First Kingdom Hearts video after the whole name channel change thing. Told you I'd still be making Kingdom Hearts videos. I didn't lie. But yeah, again, we are back with another Kingdom Hearts video. This is gonna be a fun video, I think, because it's always fun to do these kind of list things right here. Or it could be really awful, depending on how you look at it, because we're gonna be sharing opinions here, and that's never fun. But anyways, yeah, let's get into it. The other day, Jared, the Gamer's Joint, he posted a video doing a tier list of Kingdom Hearts characters. I watched that video, and you know, I kind of realized, oh, I haven't made a Kingdom Hearts tier list now, have I? And it was like a trend back like earlier this year to make a tier list out of anything and everything. I didn't do it because I thought it was a bit overdone, but you know, now that I saw that video, I thought, hey, you know, why not? I think it'd be fun. We're gonna be doing a Kingdom Hearts game tier list, ranking my favorite to least favorite Kingdom Hearts games. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we got our little tier list right here with the games over here on the side. So I'm just gonna be going in order of the tiers from worst to best. You know, that's how I'm gonna do this video. So yeah, let's just get started here. Very, very bottom at letter F, we're going to be putting Recoded down here because F stands for failure to play. Yeah, I never played Recoded. Never got around to it. Never got it as a kid. Don't have any intentions of getting it now. It's kind of the most inconsequential of the Kingdom Hearts games in terms of story, at least, and the gameplay doesn't look like I'm missing out on too much. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip Recoded there. Never played it, so can't give an opinion on it. Also, we're gonna be putting Chain of Memories GBA version on here. I never got to play that either. I've actually wanted to play that for a while though, so I may want to get on top of that. Also, can't give an opinion on it. Now let's get into the actual tiers here. So starting off at letter E, worst of the worst, my least favorite of the Kingdom Hearts games right here. I don't know if I'm gonna make people mad with this one, but we'll see. Union Cross. Yeah, I hate this game. Mostly because of how much it's drenched in, you know, the mobile game BS. Has all those microtransactions and loot boxes and in-game currency, wait time, unfair difficulty to force you to buy certain stuff. All that's in this game, and I hate it, and I don't like playing it anymore. I used to play it a lot, like a while ago, but I eventually got to a level where I just got stuck. I could not progress any further without paying money to Square Enix to get some more medals. After that, I said, nope, we're not gonna be doing that anymore. I mean, the gameplay isn't like too bad, I guess, you know, the whole medal system stuff, but the way it's just structured, I hate it. I really don't even consider it a full Kingdom Hearts game. The story progresses in there with all the story updates and stuff like that. True. I don't even really keep up with the story updates anymore. They're just kind of lost, man. But I also really fucking hate what it represents, so that's why it's kind of at the very bottom here. But this next one is gonna be my least favorite of the mainline Kingdom Hearts games, you know, the main series games. We're gonna be putting a little bit of Days down here. Now, I get why people like this game. You know, the story is really great. That is true. You know, with all the Xion, Roxas, and Axel stuff, introduced that whole trio, and everyone loves them, and Xion, and all that kind of stuff. Everyone loves that. The story is really great. But the game that comes with it, oh, so headache-inducing. It's so fucking annoying. The mission system, the day system they had going on, it's so monotonous. You know, you're just doing these menial tasks throughout each of these missions, and then after you finish a mission, you have to like 5 minutes in between a cutscene and text boxes and all that kind of stuff to actually do the next mission, where you do this, pretty much the exact same thing for the most part. You're pretty much just completing the gameplay parts just to get to the cutscenes, because that's what you're really there for. Just want to get the gameplay stuff over with, because it's just bleh. Multiplayer in there. Yeah, I never played it. Can't really give an opinion on that much. It didn't seem that spectacular though. The game deserved to just be a story thing in of itself, and now it is with 1.5. So thank God people don't have to play this game anymore. They can just watch the cutscenes and get explanations that way. It's a much better experience. So yeah, Days at the bottom here. Unnecessary to play nowadays. Moving on to tier D here, I am going to be putting Chain of Memories on the PS2, the remake of the game. This game, you know, I just can't really vibe with the whole card system. It's kind of like complicates the simple and enjoyable gameplay of Kingdom Hearts. I get why some people like it like that, but for me, I just hate that, you know what I mean? I'm a dumb gamer. Kind of like a prototype version of the command system that they eventually put in like Birth by Sleep. Hella improved on it in that game. Also, the level design, I think, is just really strange how they did it. In remaking the Game Boy Advance game, they copied over the GBA levels verbatim. The GBA game had like the box environments, you know, they were kind of small and there was a lot of transitions, you know what I mean? They kept that for this game. And I don't know why, because there's just a lot of loading screens. It's a very compact environment. They could have easily made it more expansive, but I guess they decided not to. I don't know why. I used to say this was my least favorite Kingdom Hearts game, but I am putting it above Days now because at least the gameplay is enjoyable. There's actually some bit to enjoy in the gameplay, you know, it's not like annoying. And the story is good in that too, kind of like the first story where it's like, oh, there's a lot more deeper stuff going on in this lore. And also the whole reverse rebirth thing's kind of cool too. But it's still near the bottom of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games list. So yeah, there you go. Second game I'm putting in D is going to be Dream Drop Distance. I'm going to count 3D and HD as the same thing because they're essentially the same game for the most part. I just think it wanted to do something that it couldn't do. The whole flow motion system that was introduced in this game, Sora floating around the environment, he's just going all over the place, so much freedom and stuff like that. The problem with that in this game is that it's on the 3DS, a tiny ass little screen. It doesn't give the camera a lot of freedom to show a lot of the environment. So it's really restricted and the flow motion doesn't work in that way. So, you know, flow motion, they kind of flopped with it in this game. It did get better in the HD remake. They did kind of pull the camera back a little bit in that, but it's still kind of wonky. Also, you know, the worlds in this game were kind of really sucky. Tron World, Hunchback, Pinocchio, just super duper boring. Drop system, God, I hated that. You could have just evenly split it up. You could have just easily done that, but they had to go that whole sleeping mechanic thing. The whole sleeping world thing in general I thought was weird. Like, why did they do that for the market mastery thing? Maybe it's because they wanted to introduce Dream Eaters so they could sell plush toys and stuff. Don't get me wrong, Dream Eaters are cute. I love them, but they're probably just made to sell plush toys. But I do find some enjoyment in this game in some areas. The Fantasia world is just A1 steak sauce. I love what they did with that. That's obviously the best world in the game. The ending final bosses, I don't know if people are kind of into those, but I really enjoyed those, even though they were difficult as shit. And that's why it's in the D tier here. Moving on to C. Oh, I know I'm gonna make some people mad with this one. All right. Pew! The original Kingdom Hearts Juan Numero Uno. Don't get me wrong, this game, it's a classic. It always will be. Everyone has good memories of playing it and stuff like that. Just because I'm putting it at C doesn't mean I'm saying it's a bad game. There's not really a absolutely horrible game in the Kingdom Hearts canon except for this one. I do love the original Kingdom Hearts. I do have great memories playing it and stuff like that. But God, is it starting to get dated. And I'm saying in terms of gameplay specifically. That camera, dude, that camera. I can't with that camera. This was the first Kingdom Hearts game. This was the first time doing this whole system. And this was also the really early days of
3D gaming.
So they're still trying to work out the kinks a little bit with all this stuff. And it shows. Camera, it moves at a snail's pace and you try to turn it. So everything just feels so slow. This game is a very, very slow game in hindsight. Super zoomed in to Sora in here. It doesn't give him a lot of freedom to jump around and go different places. So he feels super heavy since he can't jump that high. And platforming. God damn it. They tried to make it work, but most of the time it just doesn't. I have traumatic memories of trying to get across those lines. Just hinders my enjoyment a little bit of this game. You know, my first Kingdom Hearts game was Kingdom Hearts 2. I bought that first, and I played this right after it. Those games are pretty much night and day in terms of gameplay, so when I played this for the first time, I'm like, what the heck's this? But I still love this game to death, man, you know? The story is really corny and cartoony, but that's what it's supposed to be. And if you just accept that and go along with it, then you'll have a great time with it, I think. It knows what it is. It's a crossover between Final Fantasy and Disney. It plays into that well, and it does it perfectly. Graphics, I think, you know, with the HD remake and stuff like that, I think they hold up, you know, with the whole cartoony art style. Gameplay with the combat itself, I think it's actually pretty good, too. Of course, not as good as the later games, but again, their first time trying it out, so I understand that there's some problems with it, but again, it just hinders my experience a little bit based on the way that I played it, playing it right after 2. That's actually the only game I'm putting at C, so now let's move on to letter B. First off, we're going to be putting Birth Baslip. This game was the good Kingdom Hearts portable game. I think that everyone can agree on that. I love the command system in this game. You know, I like how you can customize your moveset and play the game how you want. It gives you a lot of freedom like that, and it really lets you customize your gameplay experience, and I really love how they did that right there. I wish that would have been a more mainstay in future Kingdom Hearts games, but you know, it's still kind of there in spirit. Story, while not perfect, I think is really, really great. The story kind of sets up the big overarching plot that's happening in Kingdom Hearts, you know, with the Keyblade War, Xehanort, Keyblade Graveyard. Since the campaigns are kind of split up into separate parts, it does kind of get confusing and kind of samey when you have to go to the same worlds and do kind of similar things over and over again. Outside of that, the story is really great, and I do love that trio right there. I never bought it on the PSP. I played it first on with 2.5, and I don't think I have ever fully completed it yet. I need to get on that though. But I know everything that happens in the story. I also like what they did with the organization members kind of going into their backstories, like, you know, with Lee and Isa and Braig, all that kind of stuff. Really awesome how they did that. Yeah, this game just did so much right. It's not perfect, it's not amazing, but it's still pretty damn good. Speaking of Birth by Sleep, next up, we're going to be putting 0.2 in the B tier. Okay, so I know this is not technically a full Kingdom Hearts game per se, you know, it's just kind of a small little segment thing, kind of teasing towards Kingdom Hearts 3, so you're probably wondering why I'm including this in this game tier list. But, you know, if you just don't think of it as a full game and judge it based on what it is, a just mini Kingdom Hearts experience, I think it does a really great job, and I do have a lot of enjoyment playing this game. It introduced us to the Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. I love that gameplay. It's more fleshed out in 3, but, you know, again, this is more of a teaser to what it's gonna be. I love how they continue the story of Birth by Sleep, you know, with the whole Volume 2 kind of thing. I'm glad they got to kind of tie up that loose end before Kingdom Hearts 3 actually came out with that story. I guess it is short. It's only about 2 hours, and when you first play it, you're kind of like, oh, is this it? But if you go back and play it again, I think you have a much better time because you know what to expect. I think the levels in here are pretty cool, you know, with the whole Daybreak Town thing going on. People, I think, don't like the kind of puzzle worlds right there with the whole mirror stuff. I personally enjoyed those. You know, I thought those were kind of fun. You know, the effects that they got in there were really cool. I like the way they did that whole mirror thing. That was cool. I love it for what it is. A small little teaser for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I think it should get more praise than it is getting right now. Oh my god. All right, we only got 2 tiers left. What's it gonna be? So an A. This is gonna be fun. All right. Bam! This game, God, I love it so much. I have so much fun with this gameplay, with the Osaka team gameplay, as some people like to refer to it in a bad context. I actually really enjoy that style of gameplay. I know everyone's problem with it is like, oh, he's so floaty. Of course he's floaty. What else would he be? The environments are so much bigger, the worlds are so much more expansive, and there's a lot more to explore and do. So if Sora wasn't floaty, then he would have felt grounded, and people would have said, oh, I just feel so restricted with this. Why are you giving me this? Giving Sora that much freedom, I think, is just really fun. You know, you can just do all sorts of stuff. Flow motion actually works in this game, and it works really well. Him bouncing off the walls and that kind of stuff. It does make combat a lot more fun. That kind of shooty thing where you can bounce off walls that way, that was really fun. I don't think it hinders combat, him being floaty at all. You know, I actually think it makes it a lot more fun. Makes it just kind of more energetic. And I also love attraction flow too. Yes, you can accidentally activate it, and it does pop up a lot, so that can get annoying, but I still do enjoy it, and I do think it is helpful in some situations. The worlds in this game are my favorite in the series, personally. The way they handled them, the way they look in the Unreal Engine 4, much more expansiveness of it. They just did the world so well, you know, especially the Pirates of the Caribbean world, Port Royal. That used to be like my least favorite world in the entire Kingdom Hearts series from T, because of the classic tones with live action stuff and Sora, Doll, and Goofy's cartoony style. It looked ugly and I hated it. But they actually made it work in this game, and it was really, really great. I've loved going around the ship and stuff like that. That was really fun. Big Hero 6, also a really great world too. Frozen, also a world I really love. Music in this game, story, not amazing, but it's still really great. Outside of the ending, that is. I do think they could have given a lot more time to the other characters and kind of showing their little story going on there. I mean, they have a lot of cutscenes already, but when you set up this overcomplicated story over the course of like 15 years, you like have to give that amount of cutscenes to it. That's just what you gotta do. The ending, that's my only like big main problem with it, is that because it wasn't finished, straight up. There's so many plot holes and missing pieces in there, feels really short, all that kind of stuff. I don't think they were able to finish the ending that they wanted to put in there. And if you look at the trailers for Remine, it seems like that is going to be the actual ending that they wanted to put in there. So technically Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't really finished, if you think about it. Remine is there to kind of complete everything that Kingdom Hearts 3, I guess, didn't have time to kind of wrap up. I made a whole video about that if you want to go check that out. Kairi, yeah, her character is very underutilized and kind of a big damsel in distress. Yeah, but God, do I still love this game to death. A lot of people were very disappointed by this game. I just think people need to be more responsible with their expectations now, from now on. With Square Enix announcing this game so early, kind of drawing the wait out for so long, 6 years almost, made fans kind of built up an entire game in their minds that they thought they were going to be getting, and when they didn't get that, they were really let down. I think this game is the ultimate kind of testament to please keep your expectations in check. Don't build up an like entire game in your mind, you know, keep your expectations realistic. Make sure you go in with an open mind and just enjoy the game for what it is and not for what you wanted it to be necessarily. That's what I did, and I love this game to death. Kingdom Hearts 3, my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game. I don't think this game was disappointing. I think it was a really, really great experience. That's just because I kept my expectations in check. All right, now we're at it. The S tier. The best of the best out of the rest. No contest, in my opinion, the best Kingdom Hearts game. You all know what it is at this point. Here you are, Kingdom Hearts 2, baby. All right, so this is my favorite video game of all time. Just know that before we're going in here. This game is, I think, the example of a perfect sequel, where everything that was in the original game was improved times 10, cranked up to 11. The gameplay is so much better than freaking Kingdom Hearts 1. You know, they actually gave Sora freedom and let him explore a lot and let him be floaty. That improved the gameplay so much. It's so classic. Story, characters, just so much better. You know, it expands their stories so much. It adds so much more depth to them. It expands the lore just so much more. I mean, I guess you could say this is where the story gets like really complicated and stuff, but the story, man, is so classic. I love what they did with Riku and Roxas specifically, those two stories. Kairi, I guess you could say she's kind of a damsel in distress too in this one, but not as much as she is in 3. She's not as useless as she is in there. Music, man. Oh my God, the music! The best video game soundtrack of all time, no debate. Say otherwise, we about to fight. Roxas theme, best video game song of all time. Ugh, I'm crying just thinking about it. Sora's theme, bruh. Battle themes in this game, dude. Holy mother of God, man. This the music in this game. Everything in this game is just done so perfectly. The stuff they added, like the freaking drive forms. That's a great system there too, and it adds so much more to the gameplay. Giving Sora freedom in this game, apparently it works in that case, but giving him freedom in Kingdom Hearts 3, oh, that doesn't work. I'm not a person who thinks it's the only good game like ever and everything else is inferior. I'm not like that, but of course, this is still my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. It's my first Kingdom Hearts game I ever played. Have a lot of memories with it. This game kind of showed me when I was a kid what video games could be. You know, at that point, I was mainly playing like movie licensed games and kind of crappy stuff like that. Then I played this and I realized like, whoa, games can make you feel emotional, it can make you feel sad, and you do all this sort of stuff. Video games can be just so much more than just going from point A to point B. This game showed me that. It's really, I don't think I'd be a gamer today if I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 2. It led me to be doing all this. I'm just so lucky to be doing what I do, even if I'm in the smaller side. I'm still so lucky to be having an audience like this in the first place. If I never bought Kingdom Hearts 2 on a whim that day back in 2006, I never heard of Kingdom Hearts before I bought 2. I just bought it on a whim because I liked the cover art. But yeah, that was one of the best decisions I ever made though. I owe a lot to this game. It's done a lot for me in the past few years. Now I want to like pursue a full career in YouTube and entertainment or whatever because of me wanting to talk about Kingdom Hearts. It led to all this, so yeah. I love this game. So yeah, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, tell me down in the comments below what your tier list is. Where would you put these games in these rankings right here? Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt here. Again, told you there's gonna be still Kingdom Hearts content. See you guys in the next video, whatever that's gonna be. Bye!